Welcome back to Off the Tap. This week is episode 22, and we're doing Karbach, Karbach Crawford Bock.
Karbach Crawford Bock?
I'm so excited, dude. This is going to be my favorite
Crawford
episode.
Bock. Karbach Crawford Bock. Oh man, dude, this is the one I've been waiting for since we started.
Yeah, it's good times.
This is my beer, dude. It's my
I got beer all over my camera.
That's how you
Greatest
know it's
can.
good.
Greatest can that we've done yet, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's out of the park. It's Grand Slam, you know?
It absolutely is. It's the Astros rainbow jersey, man. It doesn't get much better than that, you know?
Doesn't. I also think we should start this podcast off with play ball.
Yep, I like that.
Relating to our topics this podcast.
3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Y'all think I could throw that in there in the beginning without getting DMCA'd?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, we'll try to I'll see if I can get a little clip going, you know?
You want me to sing it and change up the words a little bit?
No, I mean, I was more or less just talking about the play ball thing. You know, I have like a crack of a bat. Says play ball.
Do you remember the umpire from our high school? You could get him on there, on your soundboard where he said syrup. Remember, he would always say syrup.
Why was he saying syrup on the baseball field?
Yeah, that's how it would sound. I mean, he probably wasn't saying syrup; he was saying strike, but it sounded like he was saying syrup. It was like,
I thought you were just saying he was just walking around like syrup.
No.
Syrup.
Dude, that was one of the coolest things from baseball was seeing all the freaking umpires and like how they did things and how they said things.
No, that was the worst thing in baseball, dude. Coming from a pitcher.
No, it was awesome because whenever Randall and I became umpires and we got to explore creating our own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I did not like that job. The only reason I kept doing that job was for cheese sticks and nachos.
Bro,
That's the only reason I did that
job.
job.
Drink and a free
Cheese
food
sticks?
every day.
Cheese sticks and nachos. Yeah.
Oh, okay. At least said cheese steaks. I was like, they had cheese sticks there, dude. I was missing out.
Yeah, we had a really fancy baseball field.
I would get
the
nachos
free food.
and a Mr. Pibb, bro.
Yeah, the one snack, one drink thing, that was the greatest benefit I've ever had working for a company. And I work for a pretty big corporation now with free healthcare benefits.
It was also kind of crappy too because you eat one thing of cheese sticks and drink a Dr. Pepper, and it's kind of like a Lay's chip. Like you can't just eat one thing of cheese sticks.
Dude, cheese sticks are just they're just dangerous, man. They're one
like
of my
if
favorite snacks.
you're hungry going in there and they give you like 4 cheese sticks, like I could probably, if I'm hungry, I could probably eat like 15, 20 cheese sticks until I'm full. You know?
Oh, yeah, especially after just got done sweating my anus off doing an umpiring a game, you know.
God, a Dr. Pepper sounds great right now.
If anyone that listens to this podcast wants to go and check out my Instagram, there's a picture
Not
of
a
Brandon and
sponsor.
I umping. It was whenever we umped the best game in the league.
I almost had to throw a coach out of that game.
But they said it was the best umped game that they had ever been at. Whenever Randall was the home plate umpire, I was the field umpire.
I also got yelled at one time.
Dude, that was probably the most stressful aspect of a job I've ever had is like dealing with little kids' parents yelling at you, saying you're like,
yeah, what's that 300-pound dad gonna do that hasn't ran more than 10 feet in a year gonna do to a kid in his prime just coming off running 4 miles in baseball, bench pressing 250? What's he gonna do? Like,
you're gonna come kick my ass because there was a high right ball that I called a strike and sat your son down? Like, I mean, really?
Yeah. Bring it.
Your son sucks at baseball, homie.
Bring it. Maybe you should have swung at the other 9 strikes that went by, you know?
yeah, I will punch your son in the face. I'm not 18 yet. I will punch him right in the mouth.
I'm only 17, bitch. It don't mean nothing right now. Oh man, those were the days though, dude.
Yeah.
Just getting out of baseball practice and going down to the local baseball park and continuing to sweat my ass off in that same catcher's gear that I was wearing at practice.
You know that. You remember those Febreze commercials where it's like, you've gone nose blind. I really want to know how bad I smelled throughout the entire day in high school. Because I know I went nose blind to that like weekend of freshman year.
Oh yeah,
and then like
baseball was first period, dude. Who came up with that idea? That's what I want.
We showed up at 7:00, ran 4 miles one day, and then went to class the rest of the day without. They would let us out. What is it, like an hour-long class? They would let us out with 2 minutes left till the next class. No shower.
There was days where we were out there running on the track and stuff, and the bell would ring while we were outside.
Yeah.
And we had to run in, change, get everything ready and make it to class on time because he wasn't sending out tardy slips.
And then I'd be like trying to hit on this girl in second period and smelling like SpongeBob
Just
after he ate the onions.
Dripping sweat.
Well,
Yeah.
No, mine least favorite ever thing about when it was on first period was whenever TNAB reported us for being loud in our class. Remember?
Oh, God.
And then we had to go out there for first period. Me, Randall, and Glenn, and Cordova just destroyed us. Like, he made us do like a whole football field back and forth of lunges, frog hops, all this stuff. I mean, we were late to next period class,
bro.
And, like,
Yeah.
and Micah got off scot free because he wasn't in.
Hops.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to say it, and I hope he's listening. Rene Cordova was the worst baseball coach in the history of baseball coaches. And I hope he's listening. I hope anyone who had him is listening.
I wish this
I'm name dropping right now. I do not like that guy.
I wish this was a very, very famous podcast, and we could have people call in live on the air, and he could call in just so we could tell him straight to his face that he sucked as a baseball.
And his wife was the English teacher. And if I farted in that class, I was running 6 miles. if I so much as farted in that class, I was running 6 miles. And I was like, Coach, this seems kind of like a conflict of interest.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, it was bad.
I was not expecting that, dude. If I farted in that class, oh my God.
If I walked a kid, I had to write an extra paragraph. Like, I'm telling you, I couldn't escape this loop of like death that we were in. I don't even know. I hated that guy.
Oh,
I could have went pro.
He definitely didn't give a lot of kids chances, which I thought was stupid. As like when I got up there, I didn't play at all, and I was just
you were actually good too.
Well, not only that, there was a lot of people that got left back on JV that were good, and I was like, I realized that you have your favorites, but there's some serious talent down below.
No, it was all about how much your family donates to the team.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I was talking to I'm sure I can say that. I was talking to Daniel the other day, and Daniel's a kid that we used to play baseball with. He's still a good friend. We've been friends with for a long time.
Oh, yeah, since grade school.
And we were talking about this same topic, and I was like, dude, the thing that he did wrong is that he took a team that has been playing baseball together
and
since they were in diapers. We went to like 4 state championships together as a little league team, and all the way up until we were like 15 years old, we were still going to state championship. We were like the best team in the state. I'm saying that. I don't even care. We were. And then we got to high school, and he split the team up, and probably the worst record that any varsity has ever had.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Probably like after our freshman year, it was like 4 straight seasons of not making playoffs. And then he got fired.
That was terrible. Thank God. Hope he's teaching history.
Well, okay, we got to do do you know your ABVs? We just skipped right through that.
That's like the biggest insult I've ever heard.
He's teaching history at a low grade school and not making high salary. I hope he's not coaching anything.
He's a varsity baseball coach. I hope he's teaching history.
And he taught ISS, bro. Like, oh God, that was a wheel of death.
You know what though? Before we move on from high school coaches, there's one coach that doesn't get enough love. Coach Shiflett, dude.
Oh, that guy was so
cool. He was the man, dude.
You remember when we did the Harlem Shake with him?
Yeah, when that was popular. That was the funniest
fantastic.
thing.
That was the best year.
I still look that up sometimes on YouTube.
You know,
I haven't seen it.
It's still on YouTube.
It's very difficult to find though.
It's very deep in the annals of YouTube.
Not only in the annals of YouTube, but in the annals of the Harlem Shake YouTube.
Annals. It's annals, Randall, not annals. It's annals. And then we had that one. We had
Coach
that one
Ham.
coach. We had that one coach that was. I don't remember his name, dude, but he was literally just Josh Brolin. Do you remember that guy?
Oh my God, yeah.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was Josh Brolin before he got famous as an
Do y'all
actor.
remember Coach Ham?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right down the cock of the plate.
Gosh, that was good times, man. But
Very nice.
Some weird dudes.
Very nice.
Very nice. Oh, what's his name?
That was junior year, right?
No, but it starts with a D. He was also a teacher, but he was really pale skin, blonde hair.
He taught. Well, I don't know. He taught government. The dude I'm talking about. The dude that looked like Josh Brolin always put in like full horseshoe dips when we used to do
Yeah.
it in baseball
He was
practice.
one of the assistant coaches,
Coach
I
Do
think.
you remember Coach Debo is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
Debo was probably my favorite coach of all time.
Debo was
He
amazing.
should have been head coach of baseball.
Yeah, he should have. When I was up there on
Should knew what
varsity,
baseball was.
we went to the Dallas tournament, and I was in I had played I only played first of all like 6 innings that entire tournament, and the other catcher was pissed because he was tired as hell, and he was like, I don't understand why he's not playing you or whatever. Well, I played one game, I started one game, and then Coach Cordova took me out at the end, and I was like, I went back like in the middle of an inning. I was about to come up to bat. I was in the box about to bat, and he pulled me and put the other catcher in to hit. And I was like,
Wow.
all right, whatever. And so I went and sat on the bench, and Coach Debo came up to the fence and was just like, I don't get it, man. And it was right then and there that I was like, yep, I'm going back down to JV. This sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one that sees it. Thank God.
Look, man, I'm not bragging on myself. I could have been better. But when you coming off a season batting .350 with 72 strikeouts in 7 games, I think JV might be a little too easy for you. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. No one he didn't want to look down and see it, but whatever. We got to do the ABVs, dude. Have y'all
4.4.
looked?
I haven't.
This isn't really a lighter beer.
No, it's a
4.8.
It's a Bock.
4.8. Yeah, 4.8.
Okay. Andrew, you want to give it a try?
4.5.
Leaning towards 5, but I think I'm going to say with 4.8.
I feel like I have seen it before, but I don't know what it is.
4.5 is my guess.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna say 5.2.
Dude, you're freaking wrong. Andrew got it right.
Holy freak,
What is it?
dude! I got it right on the money.
4.5.
Really? It's only 4.5.
Yeah, I got it right on the money.
Wow.
Man, it's lower than I expected it to be.
Yeah, it's lower. It's lower than I remember. I could have sworn it was higher than what I said.
It's also a 19 in the international bitterness units. Seems
It's
pretty
not
high.
bitter at all.
No, it's not.
Fantastic
This
beer.
is-
I love this beer.
I've said, well, I haven't said on the podcast before, but I know when we did the Montucky, I said that the Montucky was my favorite beer, but that's because we hadn't had this one on the podcast yet, and this is my favorite beer of all time right now.
Really?
10.
Yes, by far,
10.
Are you?
this is my favorite beer ever
10.
that I've ever had.
That's my final answer.
Are you serious?
Wow.
That's my initial review. I'm slapping the buzzer.
Are you serious
buzzer
right
effect. Absolutely, yes.
Dropping
Okay,
the
we gotta add
hammer
in. Do you all
down.
have a buzzer? We gotta add in a buzzer if he just dropped a 10.
Wow. I can.
Ding, 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 ding,
maybe I'll
ding.
have to
Come on
edit one in.
down.
Are you serious? Right now you're dropping a 10?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Okay.
It's deserving of a 10. This, I mean, it's a Bock, right? So, like, if you've had Shiner Bock and Ziegen Bock, they're very similar, except if you haven't had the Crawford Bock and you like those other beers, this one is better. And it's not only better because the can is really sick, and it has to do with the Astros, who I'm a huge fan of, but it's better because it's a significantly smoother Bock.
I do love it,
It
dude.
is
I
very
really
smooth.
do love it.
That was like a 10 just based on flavor. You know,
Yeah.
If you take in the can, it's
take the can into effect. It's a perfect 10. It's a perfect beer.
It's the perfect from everything that I've had in my 4 years of experiencing the craft beer market. This is the greatest thing I've ever tasted.
It kind of depresses me
concur.
because I love this beer. I like it, but
I mean, look, I've only really had a lot of Texas stuff though. There's a lot of craft beer out there, so I'm just saying I haven't had anything better. And with that being said, I'm going 9.6.
You never. I mean,
whoa,
that's pretty high.
Wowzers!
You never know. I mean, New Mexico might make some great seltzers or something. I don't know.
I genuinely love Bock's, period. Shiner Bock was my favorite beer for the longest time until this came out, with Ziegen Bock as a very close second.
Ziegen Bock's amazing.
And then the Crawford came out, and Crawford took number one, and the other two
Do you think we
fell
get
down.
Arnold Schwarzenegger to hop on a beer brand and just call it I'm Bock? Oh my god, my voice cracked.
That would be
Buck.
good though.
Buck. Yeah,
that
that's what I was trying to say.
that would be good. And then they just put like the Terminator robot on the front.
Yeah, you think we can get him into that? It's probably that has nothing to do with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Gotta
We
be
probably have to
something in California like that, right? There has to be.
There has to be.
we got to
the
get Universal
Ironbach.
Studios on board or something.
And if not, we should open up a brewery just on the basis that we start that beer.
Exactly.
We can start a brewery, and it'll just we'll implement the word meme into it somehow, and every beer will have a meme name.
That would be cool. That would be
I also like on how out of 22 episodes, I was the first person to have a voice crack.
I don't think I've had one before. I'm pretty sure, dude. Don't worry about it.
Everybody drinks.
Everybody drinks.
Oh yeah, you are. You got back to back. That's right. We didn't even really announce it.
Andrew's a brewmaster.
What
You're
is
batting,
what is
you're
your
batting
rating,
one hole
though?
today.
Huh?
Lead off. What's your rating? Your initial rating?
Part of me wants to go 8.9, but I like this beer so much. It deserves a 9. It really does. This beer, whenever you take a sip of it, it screams 9 or above. It just does. It's that good. It's that good. So I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
It really does, man. It's so smooth, dude.
It's fantastic.
I remember when it was released, and I was like, God, I hope it's good. And then I tasted it, and I was like, Oh my God, it couldn't be better.
Yeah, like the guy that made this deserves a massive raise in promotion. The guy that made isn't Helicella Karbach as well?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
guy that made that deserves to literally be fired.
You know, the funny thing is it's probably the same guy.
With no severance package. No severance package whatsoever.
Nothing.
Just fired.
Not a 401k or anything.
No. We don't match your 401k because you left. Because you were fired.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear a little bit about it, it says a classic ballpark beer.
Yeah,
What's
read
even-
this. Read this. It's fantastic.
I was.
He was.
What's even easier than jacking a dinger into the Crawford boxes? How about cracking open a delicious Crawford Bock? Karbach Crawford Bock, say that 5 times fast, is so smooth you can easily stretch that single into a double. Pairs perfectly with peanuts, stadium dogs, and a 7th inning stretch. I would agree with that.
Mm.
Dude,
That's a good segue into a good topic, though.
It is.
Favorite ballpark food?
Favorite ballpark food. Let's get on it. Y'all know what episode it is. It's baseball episode.
Dude,
Baseball.
we all need to go watch the Astros. Get like as much of this as we can. All sit down, enjoy some food and a bunch of beer, and just watch an Astros game. That would be a blast.
I think if they sell them this way, we get a bucket apiece.
Yeah.
And we just sit down and watch the greatest baseball game ever.
They also serve it on tap at Minute Maid Park. So
they can
Can
fill
I-
it. They can
you
fill
get,
up
a,
the
How
bag.
much-
you get a souvenir cup. And you
How
can
much do I
just
have to
go
pay to get a keg stand?
I don't know. I don't know if you can do a keg stand of it.
I will give you $20 cash if you let me go back there and keg stand.
If you let me just do one keg stand.
All right, but
$20
yeah,
keg
okay.
stand.
So if you're having this beer, okay, well, you don't even got to be having this beer. Whatever. If you're at the Astros game, what is your favorite ballpark food?
Ballpark food, man. Oh man, it's a tough toss up for me because I love a good ballpark Frank. You know what I mean? There's nothing like a good ballpark hot dog. But dude, I think I just got to go just classic nachos with just the crappy ballpark melted cheese on it, you know, with just some jalapenos on top.
Be careful, you're getting me hard.
Yeah, I think the nachos are my go-to. But man, it depends though, because the Astros, I don't even know if they do this anymore. I assume they do.
The dollar
but
hot dog night?
the Dollar Weenie Wednesdays, bro.
Oh, dude. If they did, if dollar hot dog night, I'm eating as many hot dogs as I can possibly fit into my body.
Oh yeah. Me and Sean used to go in high school on Dollar Weenie Wednesdays and literally eat like 5 hot dogs a piece, bro.
Yeah, they really messed it up when they changed it from Dollar Weenie Wednesdays to like Dollar Weenie Thursdays, and then it just went away altogether.
Dollar Dog Thursdays. I'm like, nah, dude, it's
Well-
Dollar Weenie Wednesdays. Come on, man.
Well, yeah. So if it's dollar night, hot dog, hands down. But if it's not dollar night, bro, I'm 100% agreeing. I'm getting that orange or blue helmet, the big helmet right here, full of nachos with freaking charge me extra if you want, double meat, double cheese,
Oh,
Load
you're
them
going
things
straight
up.
to the bathroom. I like it.
Oh yeah, load the things up. Put some jalapenos on there. I mean, like you said, I don't even like sour cream. Put sour cream on there. Put tomatoes and lettuce on there. Put it all. I want everything in my mouth.
I didn't realize we were doing a podcast with Jeff Bezos. How'd you afford all that?
Dude, for real, that's like a $25 plate of nachos.
Honestly, it's
I don't
kinda
get to go
low.
to an Astros game very often, man. So I'm splurging. All right.
It's it might not be a lot of people's favorite. Let me start off by saying this. You ever see those people just eating like weird foods at the like pizza? That's not like that weird, but they
The
basically
little Papa John's pizzas.
they basically
Yeah.
give you it's basically a $12 Totino's pizza. It's like square.
Yeah, and it's
pay like
flat.
$43
It
for
doesn't
it.
have like a whole bunch of bread.
Or like people eating like a salad or like
Yeah.
chicken tenders.
The
like
chicken
dude,
tenders are pretty good if you're on club level. The chicken tenders.
Jeff Bezos over here.
Okay.
That's whenever my parents would take me when I was a kid, not whenever I'd take myself.
But I was gonna say baked potato.
Ooh,
with
baked
the
potatoes do
brisket?
slap, dude.
With the
Yeah,
brisket
like a
in it?
barbecue baked potato.
Man, I'm also throwing down the money though, bro. I'm just going straight freaking just the cheap nachos, bro. I want it in the it's not even like an actual nacho carry, it's like a lid, you know? They just put it on like a clear lid.
Oh gosh,
cut some
just the cheese?
Yeah.
They cut some go boxes in half.
You want it with just the cheese and the jalapeno slices?
Yeah, dude.
Oh
That's it,
no, man.
That's it.
No,
dude.
you're not doing your nachos right. You need to go get one of them helmets.
No,
Next
that's
time you're
because I'm spending my money on my beer, and then I'm getting the cheap food. That's why.
Okay, well, next time you're at an Astros game, it's on me. Just let me know you're at an Astros game. I'm going to send you $25. You'll get that helmet of nachos.
Instead of the helmet of nachos, I'll just get 2 beers with that money.
Alcoholic.
Notice I didn't deny it. That's the sad part. The first
thing
part
to do,
of rehabilitation is acknowledging you have a problem, right?
The thing to do is like go to McDonald's on the way to the game or eat before you get there, and then you eat as a snack. See, that when you mess up is when you don't eat before, and then that's why you end up getting the baked potato that costs $19.
Yeah.
The way to do it is eat a couple McDoubles, and then when you get there, then eat the nachos as a snack.
Those
Or the hot
baked
dog.
potatoes do slap, though.
Can I just say, like, I want to punch whoever is deriving the formula where we're like, yeah, we need to charge $19 a potato, $12 a beer. I want to punch that dude in the nuts.
Well, that's because baseball players are getting $300 million contracts. They've got to pay for
but
them.
no, they're making enough money to pay for that.
You know what really pisses me off is when you have. So first of all, real estate is expensive in the baseball field to put your place in there. So the prices are going to be a little expensive. But what pisses me off is when you got like a Chick-fil-A in the baseball stadium, whereas like you can go to the Chick-fil-A down the street and get one for like $3.50 a sandwich.
Yeah.
But at the baseball field, it's $8, and I'm like, what? And they don't even give you fries; you get it with chips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this, bro?
The sandwiches are just kept hot from this restaurant down the street.
Yeah, it's under a heat lamp.
It's unnecessary. I understand it's supply and demand. Now you're at an Astros game, you don't want to leave, so we can upcharge you, and you're screwed. But the thing is it's like, do you know how much more enjoyable it'd be if I could go to an Astros game and get $2 beers? Or get,
Well, I mean,
I can get a hot dog, some nachos, the baked potato, all of it for $10.
Yeah, we need some bundle action. Is what we need.
Dude, like
they do that.
I want a beer and brat for $6. That's what I want.
Oh my god! Don't get me started on brats, bro.
Dude, a Karbach Crawford Bock.
That's what they call the bundle.
Crawford Bock is with a bratwurst with and a
Crawford brat.
A Crawford brat. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crawford brat. That's the bundle.
And you can only get it in the Crawford boxes, and it's the best Crawford. It's the best brat you'll ever get in your life. So it makes people want to buy Crawford box tickets.
Yeah, but those are more expensive, dude.
It's the best experience though at Minute Maid Park.
Also, I just want to throw this out there. Do you remember when we sat right behind home plate, right next to where George Bush sits? Or sat?
Yeah,
is he still alive?
We sat where George Bush sat.
Yeah, is he still alive? I don't know.
No,
Anyways.
he did not. He passed away 2 years ago, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. sadly, well, R.I.P. We sat in his seats.
How did you get
and-
his seats?
I knew somebody.
Well, I
You must
sat
know
where
someone
he
pretty
sits.
important.
I sat where he sat when
Yeah.
he was in his wheelchair because I was in my wheelchair.
I might have sat in the same seat as the first lady. You never know.
Maybe.
But yeah, apparently there's a whole subsection, a whole sub level to Minute Maid Park, like behind home plate. Dude, do you remember they had like steaks and scrimps and
food down there is
Bro.
and like
They had like
crazy.
the
everything, dude.
fanciest foods, bro. But the craziest part about it was they had unlimited soft pretzels and nachos, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was like Golden Corral on crack.
Unlimited.
And they have all the candy too, right? Like if you're a kid, you can go just grab a bag of Skittles for free, right?
And non-alcoholic drinks all were free too, unlimited.
Wow.
And they would
Whereas-
bring it to you. You wouldn't have to go get it. They would literally
Whereas
bring you out.
outside of that section, it's a $5 soda, you know,
Yeah.
for the small.
I drank. I'm not even exaggerating. I think I drank 12 Dr Peppers while we were down there. And
All
we, were
right,
down
Forrest
there,
Gump.
we were down there for an hour.
Yeah.
I must have had at least 21 Dr.
And
Peppers.
I know you ate like 3 soft pretzels when we were when we were
Yeah.
eating dinner. After we ate
Also-
dinner,
I
you
also had
3
2
soft
steaks.
pretzels. Yeah. Bro, I got there. I had like salmon, shrimp, steak, you know,
dude.
like diced potatoes, and then like 2 plates of nachos.
Well, see, that's awesome because you're getting good food, but to me, it just doesn't scream ballpark.
not
I'll go to the
Ballpark. It's
steakhouse after that. I want the nachos.
That's
or the
why I
potato or
slammed
the
two
hot dog.
2 plates of nachos after, because I was like, I'm at a baseball game.
Did they at least
But-
have meat on the nachos? God.
I
But
didn't
if you're gonna
put any
buy,
on them.
if
I
you're gonna
just
buy
want the
season
crappy
tickets,
nachos, man.
if you're gonna buy season
So
tickets,
bad.
it better at least it can at least come with food. You know, at least you got a buffet with it.
Yeah.
You know, like you buy season tickets down the third baseline, and then you got to buy your own nachos and beer, right? If you go down there, right behind home plate, it's pretty expensive, but at least you got food.
How much are
Yeah,
season
but
tickets?
you're also paying
behind the
significantly
plate.
more for those those
I'm
tickets.
pretty sure wasn't it like 35 grand for season tickets right behind home plate?
No.
No, is it not that much?
Those weren't those ones. Those were the like
Well, no, I just saw
not club
like
level, but like I mean they were behind home plate, but they were like
oh, right
you know where
underneath
there's like
the
those sections are.
announcers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where. They
What
were.
about the ones like directly behind home plate? How expensive would a season tickets be for that?
I couldn't tell you. I don't want to
Dude,
even
if I
guess either because
if I were to hit the lottery, I would buy those season tickets every year.
oh yeah. me
honestly,
too.
when baseball comes back, if I'm making over 100 grand at any point in my life, or excuse me, when I'm making over 100 grand,
Yeah, dude, you're
At
gonna
any
make
point
that
in
over
my
that
life.
when you graduate college, dude.
I think I would gladly drop 5 grand on some season tickets.
I mean, you can make your money back on them very quickly.
Yeah, because if you're not going, you sell them. You know,
Also, those tickets were $35,000 or whatever it was. For like that was like 4 seasons. That was before we won the World Series.
yeah, before we won the World Series, yeah,
Yeah, so they're significantly higher now.
that was like 013.
Oh,
Maybe,
13.
no, that was probably like 015.
No, it was like
13.
15, 16. But yeah, it definitely has.
I've
gone
never
up,
heard
like,
anyone
just
say
demand is a lot higher.
013.
Never heard that before. It's like
No.
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew, what is your favorite baseball like going to a game memory? You know, not well. I guess it could be playing memory too. What's your favorite playing memory? That'd be a good one.
I have no good memories.
Since
My
we
favorite-
all played together and
I don't know. My favorite memory. It's more. It's not really a specific memory. It's like playing on a Thursday night or a Friday night or whatever, and it's quiet. It's just no one's making noise right now. No one's cheering. I'm on the mound, and the lights are on me. Right.
Mhm.
I'm under the lights, and I'm just like I can hear my breathing. I'm looking at the batter, getting a sign. I'm delivering a pitch. I'm just like it's just a mood.
You had a different
it's-
experience than I did on the mound. Most of the time when I was on the mound, I had to really take a shit. So I was just trying to strike everybody out so I can go back to the dugout. That was my motivation.
This
don't
doesn't
know, man.
surprise me at all, dude. That
I
doesn't
was
surprise me at
dude,
all.
I drank a 42-ounce Powerade and ate a
As,
shit ton of
as
nachos
we always,
before
I
this
always
game.
always say, Sean, when he comes to visit your house, the first thing he does is so
It what?
It's
It
not
is.
false. I mean, it was good motivation. You know, 3 up, 3 down every inning.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Maybe
my-
that's why
my
you got
favorite-
72 strikeouts that season.
Yeah, I was like, bro, coach, I gotta
you
go.
were eating a lot
And he
of
was like,
Taco
oh,
Bell
yeah,
that
Shaw,
year.
you're on the mound.
That's my favorite playing memory. But going to the Astros game, like my grandpa, I don't think we had season tickets, but it seems like we did because we were at the Astros game a couple nights a week. I mean, we were in nosebleeds, but we were there a couple nights a week. We're in the
Still
black,
fun.
I mean, the white jerseys with the black stripes, the red Astros logo, watching the Killer Bees play.
Absolute
yeah,
worst
like-
jerseys of all time, by the way.
Worst jerseys, but
jerseys.
Yeah, those
But
brick
it
red.
does- yeah, but the thing is like while they suck, the jerseys, it brings you back to like to me golden age Astros.
Oh, dude, the red jerseys are one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate them, dude.
No, I
Dude,
like the
you-
orange jerseys, bro. The
You
orange
go to
jerseys
you go to a game back in 04, dude. They were in those red jerseys. Roy Oswald's on the mound. Lance Burton's on first base.
No, lights
like-
out Lidge. Lights out Lidge. The lights go off and flicker, and you're like, oh, or Billy Wagner's coming out, bro.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like the
mean,
red.
The memories that I formed during that era are amazing. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
with the Killer Bees and everything, but the jerseys I hate.
I'm
like
agreeing
the
with you.
colors,
I don't like that time period of like what their uniforms look like, but I love the time period for like who was playing
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the white and black striped jerseys, but I did like the red.
No, the pinstripe ones were the worst ones. The red ones
Dude.
at least were. They still weren't
Red.
good, but yeah,
When
they
they
were
brought
at least like not pinstripe. With that
When-
color scheme, at least I can't stand.
when they brought back this color scheme, I was so happy because they
The
brought it
orange I
back
love
right.
too. The orange I love too, but the blue and gold, dude. It was. I wasn't even that long that they had the blue and gold.
Oh,
but-
you're talking about like 2000, 2001, right? Isn't that when
yeah,
it was?
dude. Yeah,
Oh yeah, those are by far some of the best.
yeah.
Like,
The
Those
blue
are
and
cool. I'm
gold.
gonna
90s?
look that one up.
Is that from the 90s?
I'm
I
gonna look
think
it up.
it was like late '90s, early 2000s.
Those are really nice. But I also like
I
the
want-
throwback jerseys, which is also what's on the Crawford Bock can.
Yeah. Oh, the rainbow jersey is the best. The rainbow jersey is, in my opinion, the best sports jersey of all time.
Absolutely, no contest.
And I did like a research paper or something about it was for some sports class I was taking or something, and I did it about that jersey. You know, the reason that they stopped wearing it was because it was too thick. The players didn't like it.
Which one?
The rainbow jersey. And that's why
Really?
they switched from the rainbow jersey.
They just
huh.
didn't make new jerseys.
The blue and gold was in the
No, 'cause
90s.
Then it had to do with like the material they were using to make the jerseys then.
Were they wearing fleece or something? Like,
It was like cotton, I think, or something like that. But anyways, yeah, they were too hot. So they stopped making them.
Blue and
They need to bring 'em
gold came
back.
about whenever they were purchased in '93, and it was from '94 to '99. Is the blue and gold?
yeah, those are fantastic.
Are you talking about these rainbow jerseys, Randall?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rainbow jerseys, the one that looks like the one on the Crawford Bock can.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna throw
literally-
it. Favorite, I think my favorite baseball playing memory.
Those
that I
were
can-
from '75 to '86.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a while back. That was a hot minute ago.
Yeah, it was.
Because these kind of they have rainbow on their sleeves.
Yeah, the white with the
Those
rainbow.
were the
on the
alternate jerseys during that era. You know how like teams have home, away, and then alternate?
I don't
I
know.
think-
I think that's their home jersey because this is
Yeah, it
this
was
is showing
their-
that's for '80 to '93, and then
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
one of their
okay.
jerseys or whatever.
yeah,
but-
yeah.
Anyways, go, Sean. What were you saying?
I was gonna say the baseball memory that I can remember at the moment as being my favorite was let me think. I don't remember where we were playing, but I was on the mound and you were catching. And so we're using aluminum bats, right? Which is, super weird to pop off an aluminum bat. It's great. But it's great for high school kids, but it's super fast, right? And do you remember when that kid hit that like 145 mile per hour heater line drive right back to my face? And I just
do remember that.
and I just caught it Like I threw the ball, dude, hits line drive right back in my face, and I instinctively put my glove in front of my face, like to protect me. And I caught it, and I looked at my glove, and I looked at Randall, and Randall just stands up behind home plate, and he's like staring at me, and I was like, I've been waiting to do that. Like, super loud, and Randall runs us to the mountain. He's like, bro, it would have been so much cooler if you didn't say I've been waiting to do that.
Yeah, dude. It was sick though. That just
It was tight.
It's just a reaction, man. It happens on the mound.
Well,
And honestly, every baseball game memory is my favorite. There's not really any that stand above the rest as like my favorite, but as far as least favorite baseball memory is when I was at the 2005 wild card game and Albert Pujols hit a grand slam in the top of the ninth inning. That was pretty disappointing.
Albert Pujols was a detriment to our team growing up for me.
He still is. He still hurts us a lot.
So I also really loved whenever we would go to Randall's house before games.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite times too. And then also away games. I mean, away games were fun, but
Yeah, halftime we were on the mound. I was at least one shot in.
Okay. Maybe let's not say that, huh? Let's not say that one. I think for me, my favorite baseball like memory of all time was our last year in Little League, Sean. Whenever we went to that state tournament and placed third.
wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
Third
I mean we were 14.
from the small town of Willis. Y'all placed third. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we went all the way there, and I was pitching then, and I was playing third base. The games I wasn't pitching, and
That's when I played outfield, huh?
yeah, you played center field that game. But we were there or whatever, and it was the semifinal, and I started out on third, and I forget who was pitching. I think it was Grant maybe or something. And he just wasn't. He couldn't find it. Like he wasn't doing good. And it was when Coach Isaac was still our coach, dude. The freaking goat.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
I was gonna say, dude, we're placing third place in the state tournament. We're from Willis, dude. Our friend's dad is our coach, right? These dudes are from like I don't know, like rich Houston areas, like
Oh yeah.
like Craig
I
Biggio's
forgot,
their third base coach, you know? And,
Yeah.
like they got the best bats, they got the best uniforms, and we're like, well, this is my friend's dad. He's our coach. Like
Yeah. But I was on third, and this was the summer after I had torn my ACL, so I was still having to wear my knee brace.
I remember that. Okay, now I remember. I was trying to get in the right era.
Yeah, and so I still had I was still wearing my knee brace, and my ACL still wasn't really healed or anything, but I was playing, and Grant wasn't doing good, and Coach Isaac was like, "Hey man, you think you can pitch? Like I know, I know you pitched like the other day, but we kind of need you here. We're in a rough spot." And he put me in on the mound, and I was just freaking shutting him out, dude. And
Dude,
like
I know what you're talking about because do you remember me in the outfield?
I do.
Yelling at you
Yeah.
the whole
I did.
game.
I also remember you making a really dope catch to save my ass on one line drive. And then I remember another one of our outfielders whose name I won't say out loud absolutely whiffing a pop-up and them scoring a run on it.
And that
that
pop-up
lost us the
whiffing
game.
that pop-up whiffing technique really lasted a while.
Yeah, it did. But that was
It's
probably
it's not you, Drew, don't worry.
it wasn't like just that, but after the game, the other coach like came up. He purposely found me after the handshakes and like shook my hand and was like, "You got a hell of an arm, kid." And then he noticed
That makes you feel good.
Yeah, and then he noticed that I was wearing a knee brace and was like asking me about what was wrong with my knee, and he couldn't believe that I was pitching on a messed up leg that well. Also, that was the last time I ever pitched well in my life, so I don't know.
Also, you had to wear a knee brace. You had to wear a knee brace. It's like, yeah, you had to wear a knee brace when you're like 14, and then you just go into catching.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Never caught in my life, and then went into high school. Actually, I don't remember I don't know if you remember, Andrew, but freshman year I was pitching in one game, and I had to stop pitching after freshman year.
I do remember you pitching once.
I mean, I pitched a couple games, but there was one game where someone hit like a really soft grounder, and I went to field it off the mound, and I planted with my right foot, and my knee just buckled, and I turned to. I still got the ball to first base, but it was way too late because I underhanded the hell out of it. But it was after that I was like, oh God, I don't think I can do this anymore. And then I decided, oh, it's probably a good idea to catch.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
I was good.
You know what's funny about me? You know what's funny about baseball to me? Is that like, you know, like sometimes, you know, when people get hurt, you're like, okay, we'll take a knee, you know, whatever. Like, you know, you kind of feel bad. But also, there's a different set of rules for if you're the one at the plate. So if you hit a line drive right into the pitcher's kneecap, bro, you're going for 2.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
There's no rules, bro. You'll hit him right in the
mercy.
knee, and you're like, I don't even care, bro. No one's fielding the ball. I'm gonna go for a triple.
No
I'm
mercy,
not even worried
dude.
about it.
Never.
See,
There's no timeouts.
I agree. I think my worst memory in baseball though was whenever we were warming up for a game one time, and I wasn't starting in the infield, so I was like, I'll go play some outfield, try and see if I can do some outfield. I played it when I was little, right? So I'm out in the outfield, and this is Shiflet. And Shiflet's hitting, pop-ups for us. I go to get under this pop-up, and I'm looking up, and I lose the ball in the sun, and so I'm trying to cover the sun with my glove and try and find it. And right then is whenever the ball literally hits me square in the forehead, knocks my cap off. I'm sitting there like, oh. The whole other team is out there catching pop-ups, warming up too, laughing their asses off. It was the most embarrassed I'd ever been. The worst headache I've ever had.
I can imagine.
Oh, it was awful.
You know what? You know, this is a bad thing to say, and don't do this. If there's any kids listening to playing baseball, don't do this. But I wish we would have gotten into more fights.
I don't know if kids are really listening to this podcast.
Dude, that's something that I always wish we would have experienced.
I wish we would have gotten into more fights. Like, you know, you
like
strike someone out.
A clear the bench fight.
Dude, did this? Am I imagining this, or did this actually happen? Didn't like some kid try and run you over at home plate?
Yeah, dude, that was the funniest shit
ever.
His
ass or something that.
What happened was there was he was on second or something. There was a ball hit to the outfield, and y'all relayed it in, whoever it was, and I caught this kid was rounding third base, and I caught the ball at home, and he just kept running toward me, and dropped his shoulder like he was gonna try to run me over, and I just took a step back and hit his leg, and it tripped him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I tagged him out, and his whole he turned around and got up and was bowing up to me, and I wasn't even looking at him because I was looking at the play on the field. But their whole dugout stood up and was waiting at the side of the fence, and I turned around and I was just like, "What?"
Dude, yeah, I wish you would have gotten into more fights. If you would have been at home plate fielding the ball, when you're in that vulnerable catcher position, Jake Marisnick style, and you're just fielding the ball. If someone would have trucked you, bro, I think that would have been the moment that we just had an all-out
so brawl. Disrespectful because you don't have to truck someone in like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you've heard of rushing the mound. I would have rushed the plate.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember? One time I remember us all getting pissed together. Do y'all remember whenever I was pitching in Brenham?
No.
And they were doing softball chants and yelling.
Yes,
and
I do
counting balls and shit.
Oh yeah, the Bluebell Field.
Yeah,
that place.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so livid whenever they were doing
we were playing softball girls.
Yeah.
That game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which also you're not supposed to do that shit in baseball. It's a legit rule, and the umpire wasn't saying anything about it. That's what was pissing me off the most.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't remember you pitching that game. The only thing I remember is Glenn, 4'5" Glenn, when he was 15.
Come on now.
I don't know how tall he was. He's probably 5'4", something like that. Dude, it was in Brenham. They had that green monster in left field. It was 25 feet tall or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude, it was fucking huge. It was a legit. It used to be a minor league field.
Yeah, Glenn is 5'4". Dude throws him a fastball, and he cranks it 15 foot up this 25-foot wall in left field. Dude, and we were watching it as soon as it left the bat, and we were like, "Oh my god, I haven't even hit a home run this season, and I'm 6 foot tall."
Bro, he yacked that ball. That thing, I swear that thing was gone. And it just smacked in the middle of the fence because it was so damn tall.
Any other stadium, it was gone.
Absolutely,
but
dude.
Left field was 300 and with a 25-foot tall fence.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
That was crazy.
I almost rushed the plate right then.
I only ever hit one home run in my life, and it was right after Sean hit a home run.
Oh yeah, that's how we became friends.
That's a real story. That's a true ass story, bro. We were in an all-star game when we were like 12 years old or something.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it was in Stamo. I have the ball still, and we
Do
were
you
playing
really?
against Stamo. Yeah. And Sean just absolutely jacks this ball to left field, just like
No,
I'm
I
not
jacked
kidding.
this ball to left field. There was there was the fence. What are we on? We're on like a 14-year-old field, so it's probably what, like 200.
I mean,
Something like that.
I don't want to say numbers, but I would
I
say
don't know exactly. Yeah. You know, it's almost like high school level field. I'm like 14. There's the fence, and then there's a 50-foot gap to the other field, and then there's the other field, and then there's the infield of the other field, and my ball landed on first base.
Dude, it legit-
Wow.
It was
You cranked it.
gone.
That was the only home run I've ever hit in my entire life, and it went 450.
Bro,
That's all I'm saying,
and
bro.
I'm not kidding, dude. He just absolutely destroyed this ball, and we're all celebrating home plate or whatever. And then I get up to the plate, and I'm like, shit, I've never done that in my life, dude. And this kid just hangs a fastball, and I pop it up, and it just floats out by like 3 feet, dude.
Did you hit it right after me, or did you hit it the next inning?
No, it was
Y'all
like
went back
three
to back?
pitches after. It was literally 3 pitches
Okay,
after.
I thought
That's
I thought
awesome.
you hit like a a 2-run home run or something like that.
No, I hit it and it just floated out. Cause I remember hitting it and going shit and throwing my bat down, you know, and just like jogging to first base, and it just floated over the fence, and I was like, oh my god.
I
And
forgot
then
about that.
And then the next
That's my
inning,
greatest baseball memory.
I don't remember if you did this too, but then the next inning, I absolutely hit a freaking destroying of a line drive, and it just
The
smacked.
next inning, y'all
Yeah.
were batting through the lineup, huh?
Yeah, we did. Well,
Dude, we were a
kind of.
menace in Little League, bro.
But it was just a freaking line drive, and it hit the top of the fence in center field, and I was like, dude, if I would have got 1 inch under that, I would have had back-to-back dingers.
Yeah.
Dude, the
I
closest
think
I
you
ever
were on
got to
base
a
for that one, so maybe that's
I
why
could
you
have
think
been,
I
yeah.
hit a 2-run.
The closest I ever got to a home run, it was like my first year at Kid Pitch. I just cranked one, and it hit the top of the yellow plastic on top of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was rounding second. The umpire's like, no. It's a ground roll double. Get back on second.
No,
Pissed me off.
no,
Pissed me off. Pissed me off.
no, that's incorrect. That's a
It
home
is
run.
incorrect. It is incorrect, but I was like 11, you know? I couldn't tell him. And so that guy stole my dream as a kid.
Wow.
He stole it.
Well, it was an exhilarating moment, but it's the only one I ever had in my life. I remember there was one time in high school. Sorry, Sean. There was one time in high school too. I think it was like sophomore year where I was hitting, and I just absolutely felt like I had destroyed this ball at the plate. Like it squared up beautifully, and it was flying just a deep left center. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna hit a home run in high school. This is so freaking cool." And
Was
I
it
get
into the wind?
no. Well, I don't remember, but I got to second. But y'all probably remember this. I got to second base, and I like because I realized that it didn't go out. It stayed in play or whatever, stay in the field. And I got to second base, and I like pointed to the dugout or something, and Glenn goes, "Dude, you're out." And I went, "What?" And I was still on second. I was like, "What?" And so I started jogging back to the dugout, and he goes, "Yeah, dude, he caught it. What are you talking about?" It was like
Dude,
20 feet
I
in front of the
miss-
fence, bro. I thought it was gone.
I missed more than anything being in that dugout, all of us, bro.
Oh, that was the
Yeah, that was
most
good
fun time.
times.
I have a picture on my phone still whenever we took a bat and we put a
Gatorade
cup on
bottle.
it.
Oh, it was a cup.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, a cup on it and took the backing out of it so it was like a scope. And then Sean had 2 cups like this laying next to me, and I was covered in like bat bags with like the bat like this. And Sean was my spotter.
Yeah, we're the dugout sniper and the dugout
Yeah.
spotter, dude.
Yeah.
Sniper.
Man. Oh, dude.
That dugout was the time of my life, man. It was so fun. Just all the boys just talking as much shit as we humanly could.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Randall, thanks for reminding me of that. That was good memories. Because I was just talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I don't think I ever hit a home run.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Why did I put emphasis on the word home run like that? But I was like, I
That
don't think I
home
ever hit a
run.
home
You
run.
hit one out of the park.
I was like, I don't think I did, and I
Dude,
totally
it
forgot
went
about that
so
moment.
far.
Everybody drinks.
450, dude.
That ball was so gone, dude.
Good times, dude. Well, let's stop being selfish a-holes and let's talk about some other baseball stuff, that doesn't pertain to just us.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
What about how do we feel about baseball as a whole right now?
I mean, if we're talking about like professionally, straight up, I feel like there's a lot of talent right now. Like there's a lot of good teams that have legit chance at winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I know y'all don't watch it as much as I do, but I watch a lot of baseball, and like the Braves, for example, are a team that has kind of like worked their way up with a bunch of young talent, and they're very good. San Diego Padres, they're a team that kind of came out of nowhere last year and were very good, and now in this offseason they've gone and gotten a crap ton of pitching and a crap ton more talent, so they're really scary. Obviously the Dodgers won last year and they've been to like the last 19 World Series, so that's fun.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yankees are annoying. Astros, I think we still have a window here that we can go, but we got to act
you make
on it
something
quick.
happen.
The Rays have pretty much lost they went last year. They got there, but they're done now. They lost all of their pitching basically.
And it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like Tom Brady. It does get repetitive, or the Warriors or LeBron James. It's cool. You're like, okay, we're making a legacy, right? But I want to see some other shit happen.
No, I get what you mean. The thing about baseball is that it's really hard for, unless you're like the Yankees or the Dodgers, it's really, really hard for you to buy a bunch of these players. But at least over like the past 8 years, it seems like to me, a lot of players have not been wanting to sign with those big markets,
Yeah.
Like,
well, one thing that's strange to me is that, you have like you called them super teams earlier. Like you have these super teams, right? They have like all these big name players, like best players in the league. And it's crazy to me that, you build your way up through baseball just as a player. You go to college, maybe you go to the minors, and then you're in Major League Baseball, right? You made it to the MLB. And then you got these players that are in there for like 10 years, never won a World Series. But you also have these players like, I don't know, I'm just going to use Aaron Judge or something. He's pretty young, but like he's like a powerhouse player, right? Like he's a big name in baseball.
Yeah.
Right. And when you compare Aaron Judge and like the Yankees to like the A's, right?
I mean,
and
he's not terrible now.
Well, not just a terrible team, but like a mid-level team, where you got guys that have been in the league for 6 years. They're not great, but you've been in the MLB for 6 years.
We're okay.
How can you not hit a curveball?
Yeah.
My thing is just how can everyone not hit? I know there's good pitchers out there, and there's fantastic pitchers out there, but you should still be able to hit. Like there's dudes batting like 114.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I mean,
I think it's harder than ever to be a pitcher because these hitters are just insane now. A lot of them. I mean, like
a lot of hitters have power now, right? But there's a difference between worrying about this guy coming up. The issue with being a pitcher is that if you walk somebody, then you have to be worried. If you walk one person, then you have to be worried. But if you are consistently throwing strikes, these guys are either going to strike out, hit a weak ground ball, or hit a home run. And like that's just the chance you have to take. Because there's not a lot of pure hitters anymore.
About playoff baseball and World Series baseball, if you walk a guy and like a couple rounds in to the playoffs, the odds that the guy following him is going to hit a home run are pretty freaking high.
Yeah.
Like you were just saying, like, unless Reddick's coming up to the plate,
Okay.
I mean, most of the time, if there's people on base and you're not the Astros, somebody's going to score.
Yeah.
And it is scary to be a pitcher. You get a dude on base and you're like, oh, that's a run, maybe two.
Can't give up those walks, man. it's my favorite thing about watching Major League Baseball at this point. Listen, dude, I love a good dinger like the next person. I love to watch somebody jack a home run 500 feet. That's absolutely exhilarating. But there is nothing more fun to me about watching professional baseball than watching a professional baseball team string together 6 or 7 hits and score
it's
5
amazing.
runs.
It's so
Playing as a
fun.
team.
Greatest thing. Yeah.
It's so fun to watch.
Just jacking rips up the gaps, left center doubles or down the line singles that are scoring a run from first base somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how Evan Gattis got 11 triples in one season, but you know what? He freaking did. You know what I mean? That's the crap I like to see.
Gaddis did that?
Yeah, dude.
What?
He got 11 triples in one season, and that was more triples than he had in his entire career.
It's insane.
Like even the plays that, even the smaller plays, like you got a dude on second and you bunt to get him to third. You're like, all right, cool. That was cool. At least we made a team play and we're this much closer to scoring. Now I'm even more excited.
Absolutely, dude. That's the kind of stuff I love to watch. That tactical. The thing about there was one key thing about the Astros World Series win in 2017, and I don't even want to really discuss the whole scandal thing because it's an absolutely ridiculous argument at this point. But there's one specific play where in game, I don't remember if it was 6 or 7, but we were back in Dodger Stadium, and somebody had gotten on first base, and then they put in, I can't remember his name now. They put in the guy that they would put in to like run the bases because he was super fast. And it wasn't Jake Marisnik, though. It was somebody else.
Stassi?
And
no, he was the catcher, right?
Yeah, he was one of the catchers, like the backup.
It was
or
somebody like that. Somebody didn't play a lot.
No, yeah, he didn't. He would come in and play outfield sometimes, but
Tony Kemp?
No, it was a taller guy. I mean, it was a tall black guy, but I don't remember his name. I actually really liked him though. But anyways, they put him in on first base and they put him in to steal because there was 2 outs and we were trying to get a runner in scoring position, right? And George Springer came up to the plate and he hit an opposite field home run. And not a lot of people understand that the only reason that George Springer hit that home run opposite field was because he was trying to push the ball to right field so that he could move the runner to second base. And that's the only reason that he hit that home run to right center. But a lot of like casual baseball fans don't understand that kind of thing that's happening. So they don't respect that. They're just like, he hit a dinger. Let's go. I'm like, he hit the ball.
Swung the bat and it happened to be a home run to right field.
Yeah, he hit the ball 400 feet. But the only reason that he was putting it on that side of the field anyways, the only reason he waited on that ball was because it was a hit and run. And they were trying to move.
That's where, I mean, people need to understand and have respect. Like, nowadays, okay, so, I mean, not even just nowadays. I mean, you're a professional baseball player, right? And you're in the batter's box. And you have to put the ball on the right side of the field. And in order to do that, you have to wait this many milliseconds longer on a fastball that's 99 miles an hour to make sure you put it on that side of the field versus like a few milliseconds and just fouling it off to the left side of the field. Like, it takes so much control and just skill to be able to do that on a professional level. Because you have to select. They select where they on the field where they want to put the ball. If there's a gap, they can put it in that gap.
Let's
it's
just
a
say
mental game between a hitter and a pitcher. It really is.
Let's say you're George Springer. He's 20s. Something. He's in his 20s, right? Low 20s, maybe.
He's like 29, I think.
High 20s, really? Is that old? But anyways, let's say you're George Springer. Middle late 20s, right? That's 29 years of practicing pretty much every single day. Like, that's a lot of hours and repetitions. Like going into that.
And
it's still hard to believe.
Yeah. It's tough to do, man. One of the biggest things that I learned in high school was letting the ball travel. And that's when you start to understand that kind of stuff. It's like, well, what do you mean let the ball travel? Well, you're trying to hit it to the right side of the field. So you want to let the ball get closer to you
Mhm.
let it travel and square it up, and you're gonna hit it to the right side.
I was just a shitty hitter.
I just had no power, dude, at all.
Andrew, you see the problem is that you were so tall, and in baseball you need to have a little bit of meat on you so you can get some of that rotational torque around the hip
I
area.
got some on me now, but I did not have any on me then.
That's why you were a good pitcher, though, because you were so tall.
Just
yeah,
lanky.
in pitching, it's it's good to be tall, right? But when you're trying to bat, you're really trying to get some
I would
torque
whenever
on
I
the ball
would
and
whenever
take it
I
out
would
there.
yeah whenever I would stretch on the mound, my front foot was halfway to the plate, and then my arm touched the plate. Whenever
You just drop the ball in Randall's glove.
Stirp. Oh man, yeah. I don't know, but I love that part of baseball, the tactical, like
Yeah.
you said, especially like bunting a guy to third base. You don't ever see that. I mean, you see it more in like playoff baseball and stuff, but not a lot of people respect it as much because they're like,
I mean,
well, why not just swing for the fence?
Well, I'll
I
tell
mean,
you,
Yeah,
dude,
two
if there's
runs
no
is
outs,
nice, but
if
it's
there's
not
no outs,
guaranteed.
you got a dude on second base. You got a lower level hitter coming up, bunt him to third, and then all you got to do is hit the ball anywhere on the field,
well,
preferably outside the infield, in the dude scoring. You know,
Yeah.
I'll tell you whenever I saw it. I was playing my brother. This is 2012, MLB The Show, and I'm the Astros. We're playing at Minute Maid Park. We are tie ball game, 9th inning. Okay, he finally gives me makes a mistake and walks a runner, right? So I've got a guy on first. I get 2 outs, moving him over to third. So he's on third. I know he's not going to expect it. I squeeze bunt and win 1-0. 1-0.
No way.
Won the game. Yep. I
The
swear to God.
squeeze, bro.
Squeeze bunt. Won it as the home team.
Wow. I've
It
never
was
seen.
it was a nail biter, and it was entirely worth it because I mean, as soon as my guy touched the plate and he picks up the ball and he throws it to first, and my guy was safe at first, he was just screaming. He was like, "What?"
Dude, I've never seen a squeeze bunt work in a video game. That's crazy, dude.
It was the only time I've ever done it, and it was the best feeling in the world. I felt so good after.
Oh man, I can only imagine. Okay, well, I think we can maybe squeeze in one more quick topic real quick.
Can this just go on? Can this podcast go on forever? Like whenever we were, I don't want the memories to end of us being in like the dugout and stuff. So like,
Dude, I know, right? I'm gonna be on my deathbed thinking about those days.
Yeah.
gone forever. Here.
Well, we talked a little bit about like super teams, but how do we feel about teams that tank to win? That tank to get draft picks. You know, they purposely lose a bunch of games so they can get higher draft picks.
Oh, it's kind of like the same thing that like if you were to argue like I don't like it whenever Tom Brady he sees like another player on the field and he hikes the ball real quick so that way he can get a extra player on the field penalty. It's like you're getting too.
That's a little bit different, but okay.
To me, it's
almost
kind of
like entirely different.
To me, it's kind of the same because they're doing kind of like a smart way around
Yeah, well, get all your players off the field and only have 11 on instead of having more on.
My
they're
thing
just
is
switching out. Okay,
The umpire
whatever.
or the referees.
I'm an asshole. Sorry, guys.
The referees give
No.
you time to switch players. Like you're supposed to get that done in a specified time.
My thing is that it's a viable strategy to try and get draft
did it.
picks.
The Astros did it.
Yeah, the thing is that I wish they would tell fans like, "Hey, we're tanking," but they're not going to because if they're like, "Hey, we're losing on purpose because we want better draft picks because we're already in last place," no one's going to show up to the game.
Yeah.
If they know you're going to lose, and none of the, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, I wish I kind of would have knew that you were doing this because then I wouldn't have even spent any time watching this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would have just gave up at the beginning of the season and then waited till next season.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, it's more of like an ethical issue than like a real issue, because you have these smaller market teams like, you know, I mean, we shouldn't be, but the Astros were for a while, like a smaller market team, or even teams like the the Tampa Bay Rays or Milwaukee Brewers, or like, you know, these other teams that aren't in like New York and LA and, you know, these big, or Florida. Well, Tampa Bay's in Florida, but you know, they're not Miami.
Yeah.
But,
it just hurts the fans. It hurts the fans.
It does, but these smaller market teams have to do something to be able to compete with these big market teams that can buy players, that can literally just go out and give Garrett Cole $280 million.
Yeah.
Say, oh, you're the best pitcher in the league. We want you on our team. Come play for us. We'll pay you whatever we want. You know, like the Rays can't do that. They don't have enough money to do that and be able to sustain a real team. It would literally just be like Garrett Cole and crew. So these small teams have to do that in order to acquire the talent to be able to even make it to the playoffs and compete against these teams.
No, yeah, and that's why, you know, it's a good strategy. And it has to be done. But I got a solution. I think we should just start relegating teams. Let's say the Marlins haven't gone to the playoffs. They haven't even been considered for a wild card in 5 years. So like, hey, we're going to drop you guys down until you get better, and we're going to replace you with the New Mexico cactuses. You know, like
the cacti.
And they've been doing all right. We're going to bring them up to the MLB. You guys go practice for a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but again, what the thing with that is then these, you know, the Dodgers, that would never happen to them, or like the Yankees, that will never happen to them.
To me, I think it'd be fun, like if, you know, just as an experiment 1 year, or for a couple years, because it takes a while to, based on drafts, build a team. If you were to like just randomly assign drafts, so you get random teams, so you can kind of like, it'd be more fun to me, like, to bet on who's going to win that game whenever it's like a lot more fair because you've gotten random draft picks. You know?
Almost like a lottery draft.
Yeah.
To where the more, well, that wouldn't really work, I guess. But I mean, the more games you lose, the more like numbers you get, and then they roll. And if your number's picked, you get a draft pick or something like that, you know?
That could work because it's kind of like balancing it out, you know, a little bit.
You have a higher chance of getting a higher seed.
Yeah, like you would still be losing.
It's not given to you, but you have a higher chance.
Yeah, you'd be tanking, but you would be tanking without guaranteeing a first round pick. So you would still want to have a good record and balance out your losses so you can get enough picks. I don't know, kind of like a lottery draft kind of thing.
I'll tell you what. Have y'all heard of the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League?
No.
It was like, yeah, well, like 2 years ago they made it or whatever, and it's been the fastest growing sport. Lacrosse has been for like the past 4 or 5 years or something, but that league has just been growing, I mean, exponentially since it came out, like viewership and everything and fans. And what they do each year is basically like, it's similar to like a fantasy draft where some fantasy leagues have a keeper system where you get to keep one of your players from previous year, and then you draft the rest of your players. That's what the PLL does pretty much, is like you pick one player you want to keep, and then all the rest of your players go back into the draft pool each year.
Ooh, sounds...
And y'all all draft. It's really cool for lovers of the sport and like the league, but it
sounds terrible for the players.
Well, it sucks for the players, and it sucks for people who are fans of specific teams, right?
Yeah.
Because imagine, right, me as like an Astros fan, just gonna stick with Astros since we're talking baseball, but like imagine how devastating it would be for me if Altuve went into a draft pool every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, Altuve's in the World Series. In the World Series. We had him 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I don't think it would ever happen because the players are like going to come. I mean, like, because they're not getting any pay differentiation then, like, because they can't be like, oh, we all of a sudden get to. I mean, unless you assign, I guess you could. Like, if you want to draft Altuve, you have to pay this much.
Well, I mean, there's things like that in fantasy football too, but it's more or less like, I don't know how they draw for draft pick. They have a system of like the worst teams. They do like a tournament, and whoever wins the tournament of like the worst teams in the PLL drafts first. You know what I'm saying?
I think we should take every third base coach in the league and throw them into a gladiator style battle.
Gary Pettis would win every year. I don't care.
I agree. I don't know why. I've said this a lot of times in this podcast, but I guess I'm just very fascinated with gladiator style battles. But I think we take all the third base coaches and throw them into a gladiator style battle, and whoever wins gets the most draft picks, and then it just goes down the line.
Let me ask you a question. Was Cordova tanking?
Yeah, he was. He was tanking to lose his job.
Yeah. All right, we got to get on to the final ratings after that.
Sean's face is floating.
My head is floating. It's dark.
It got really dark in that room. Yeah. Yeah, we got to get on to the final ratings and wrap this one up. I hate to wrap this one up because this is. We'll have to do a few more episodes. There's a lot more baseball beers in the Houston area, and baseball season lasts like 9 months. So
maybe whenever like we could do like a mid-season playoffs, World Series.
We'll do an All-Star break for sure and a World Series week for sure.
All right.
World Series week.
Yeah. Well, maybe because the World Series is in October, and that might be Oktoberfest month again.
Could be.
Oh, yeah.
We only got around to one Oktoberfest last year, so.
Did we really?
But we'll see what's up. Yeah, because that's when we started, man. Halloween.
Yeah. All right. 10.
You guys keep it at 10. I like it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Yeah, I'm staying the same too. 9.6. I think we have all had this before, so we kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, mine's the same. 9.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to make it a 9.1?
That's what's crazy about this beer. I'm rating it at the lowest of the three of us, and it's a 9. It's a great beer.
It's a great beer. I think that makes it a 9.55 or something like that.
I've also noticed that on this podcast, sometimes we'll be like, yeah, it kind of tastes like orange, and it kind of tastes like blah, 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 blah.
This one tastes like beer.
I have no idea. Yeah, this one tastes like beer. This one's not trying too hard. It's just
this one tastes like beer, and it also tastes like 9th inning, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It tastes like someone collected the tears that were running down my face from when I hit my first home run, bottled them, and gave them back to me 15 years later.
Let them ferment for a decade.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. It's just so good. It's like I said, it's literally like a Shiner or a Ziegenbach, but smoother. It's just
very
so
smooth.
Good, dude. It's so good.
You're smooth, dude.
Well, Randall, it must not be that good because you didn't give it a 10. So.
Well, here's the thing: is like
I can't believe you gave it a 10. You have spent your 10. You know that, right?
I got unlimited 10s.
Something can still be as good.
I will use them sparingly because not every beer is as good as this one.
I don't know. For me, there's one 10. There's one perfect 10, and I got to find it. That's my goal in this podcast.
That's why I'm going 9.6 because, like I said, I've had a lot of Texas craft beers. Not really a lot. I've had a lot in my area. There's still a lot out there, and a lot of other states, and you never know what's gonna come up, man. So I gotta keep something mysterious.
I'm just saying, if I don't spend my 10, and I want to rate each beer differently, after 99 episodes, I'm gonna have to spend my 10. So might as well do it now.
Spend your 10.
That's
what you learned from this episode. Spend
you
your 10.
You don't have to rate every beer differently.
No, I know. I was just saying.
Spend your 10. I like that.
That's going on a t-shirt. Spend your 10.
All right. We should have done like a little segment where we did a 7 inning stretch somewhere in the in the 3/4 mark of the episode, but I didn't think about it.
Yeah, just a 7-minute stretch where it's just completely silent for 7 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
Y'all should
right.
stretch. It feels really good.
We just play some show tunes.
I bet it does. Well, like always, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Off the Tap Pod. That's the best place to get in contact with us and
Do it.
talk with us. Instagram is at Off the Tap Podcast.
Check that out too.
Yep. Facebook is Off the Tap Podcast.
Check that out also.
Patreon is www.patreon.com/Off the Tap Podcast.
Check that out as well.
If you want to support us monetarily, is that the way you say that?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Monetarily.
Monetarily?
No.
Monetaria?
You said it right.
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah. So be sure to hit us up on socials. And this one is the only really episode that makes sense for.
No, this is where it started.
Yeah.
Go ahead. 30-second story. Go.
I'm standing there. Oh, not me. It's Caleb. It's a person, right?
It was Caleb.
You're wasting 5 seconds. Hurry, restart. Go.
And he's taking a lead off, right? Randall, go ahead.
First base. I'm in the dugout. And pitcher picks off to first base, and Caleb steps back onto first base. And I yell out from the dugout, "Hey, if you ain't getting dirty,
You ain't getting
far enough."